Let's say somebody comes and asks you should teach them an important lesson in life. What would that be? Meaning to say, let's say somebody brings you their child and asks you, can you teach my child one important lesson in life? What would that lesson be? Or let's say even an adult comes to you and asks you, can you teach me an important lesson in life? What will that be? So the question is, what is the most important lesson a person needs to know? What is the most important thing of all things that a person needs to know to help him go through life? So there is a lot of important things a person needs to know. The question is, what is the most? So to give an example, let's say you will think, okay, I'll teach a person everything can be looked at two ways, a negative way and a positive way. Always look at everything with a positive eye. That is an important lesson. Or let's say I want to teach a person there's only one God. That is an important lesson. It might even be the most important thing, because by the end of the day, if you learn the Torah, the whole Torah is built on Amunah, on faith in Hashem. Or let's say you will say, make your health a priority. That is an important lesson. Or don't be afraid what people have to say about you. Don't let fear take you over. Embrace challenges. Embrace downfalls. And the list goes on and on and on and on. So the question is, what is the most important thing a person needs to know? You know what the answer is? The most important thing a person needs to know is 3 words. Never give up. In Hebrew we say it, al tisyaesh. This thing of giving up should not exist. There is hope for everybody in every situation. That is the most important thing a person needs to know to help him go through life. And I'll explain it why. Let's say the first example of the first lesson that I gave, of teaching somebody everything can be looked as a positive and a negative. Now you think about it. If you could teach that to a child, which every child should be taught at, or even an adult who didn't get that education as a kid, and a person that lives with that will pretty much have a pretty good life, because there's ups and downs in life, and every time something goes down, you look at it with a positive eye, you see positive in everything, therefore you take the down and make it into up, and your life becomes pretty glorious. Yeah, it sounds very good. But what is when life gives you real challenges? I'm not talking about the regular down, like every day you have ups and downs. I'm talking about when the down goes really down. God forbid. I'm not wishing it on anybody, but people often go through life real, extreme, difficult challenges, which it seems like there is no way out of it, or the pain is beyond anything. So if the person just has the idea of always look positive in everything, but now the person is in a situation where he cannot see anything positive because the pain is taking over the person. But when the person has this principle of I am not giving up, there is hope in every situation, then the person can go through the most difficult challenges. And the same thing is with everything. This concept of believing in one God. Yes, we Jews, we have a Torah, and the Torah teaches us to believe in one God. And the whole goal of the Torah is to believe in one God. But in order to get through that, you can't just believe in one God just like that. You got to learn a lot. You got to experience a lot. You got to live through a lot in order to get to the point of Hashem Echad. But if you have this principle of not giving up, that person will be able to get through to believe in one God. But a person that doesn't have that, and God forbid he goes through difficult challenges in life, that difficult challenges might take him over and he could chas v'shulam lose himself. And the same thing is of every other important lesson. So yes, there are a lot of important lessons a person needs to know. But the most important of everything to help a person go through life is to know, never give up. There is hope in every situation. And the Torah teaches us hope. The entire Judaism is based on hope. And there's multiple stories of people that didn't give up. For instance, the popular story of Rabashkin. He was sentenced for 27 years for a crime he never did. And he was sitting for so many years in prison. And the Supreme Court denied an appeal for him. But he didn't give up hope. And he came out of prison when the president granted him clemency. So this is a story of hope, an example of hope. And there's a whole bunch of other stories where people thought that this is the end, there's no way out. And somehow they got out of that situation. Why? Because they didn't give up. But if a person, God forbid, gives up, then he might not find a way out, even though there is a way out. So if there's one thing I could teach you, one important lesson, that will be never ever give up. There's hope in every situation. Have a wonderful day.